Hello, beautiful ones. Wanted to talk today about the word prevention. Prevention. So, to prevent yourself physically having some kind of symptom of disease, illness, pain, whether that's acute pain, chronic pain, any kind of physical ailment can be prevented. Now, it's something that we know in our language. We talk about preventative measures before we get sick. So, what does prevention mean? And I said it like that, prevention, because we actually have to look at the root word of prevention and we have to look at the vent part. So, prevent, we need to vent the energy, and we have to look at metaphysics, the emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects of why we end up with any kind of physical condition. So when we learn to vent the energy, vent our emotions, we are in a state of prevention for the physical body having any kind of need to express repressed, suppressed energy or emotion. So venting is really, really important. And there's another term that we use in our language. It's not such a common term, but perhaps it's more from, days gone by, where we talked about venting our spleen. When someone vents their spleen, again, it's an emotional purge of energy because the spleen metaphysically is a place of emotional obsession. When you're obsessing about something, you're activating your spleen in a detrimental way. So to vent your spleen means to purge the emotion, to instead of obsessing about something internally in your mind, going over and over and over and over something, you actually get to release or vent the emotional energy. So venting is often suppressed because we have been conditioned to believe that we should just put up and shut up and we've always got to be love and light and we should be seen and maybe not heard, depending, how you were raised, or perhaps as a woman you may have taken on some of those concepts, or you may be offended by people that are overly emotional, or you may see it as the toxic masculine in you if you speak up too much. But there is a right way to vent. There is a wrong way to vent, and that is if you get up in someone's grill right up in their face and be very aggressive or accusatory. That's not a good way to vent. But sometimes that happens if we haven't managed our emotional body and we haven't found that positive way to vent our energy. So early on in our 365 days of healing, I think it was one of the very first videos we did, was about scream therapy. And it's a perfect example of how to vent because you make sound according to how you feel. And we went through 4 specific steps. You can go back and find that video, scream therapy, and look at very specific ways to vent energy. But just for today's purposes, what is it that you need to vent? What do you really need to say where you're not censoring yourself, where you're not shutting your voice down? Even if you imagine that the person you have something to say to is standing right before you, you can go into a role playing situation and tell them how you really feel without censoring yourself. You could get out your journal and you could write it like a script, saying how you really feel about a person, a situation. You could just be venting to the universe in general that I'm so frustrated with this third dimensional reality. I want an upgrade of energy. I'm sick of being stuck in these patterns. I'm frustrated at the government. I'm frustrated at the tyranny. I'm frustrated with my job. I'm frustrated with my partner. I'm frustrated with my parents. I'm frustrated with my children. I'm frustrated with myself. What do you need to vent? What do you need to vent? Knowing that when you manage your emotional body and you do it in a really positive and harmonious way, you prevent any physical expression of disease, illness, sickness, ailments, pain, blockage. The physical body, if you look at the auric body, the physical body is the last layer for a condition to manifest. It always starts in the spiritual realm. If you meditate a lot, you'll pick it up there. If not, it'll come into the mind, often through obsession, going over and over and over something, or telling yourself you're wrong to have certain thoughts. Then it comes into the emotional body. And then again, if you're not just able to hold space for all your emotions, if you say, "Oh, I'm angry, that's wrong," and you shut that down, or "I'm hurt, that's wrong," and you shut that down, or "I'm frustrated, I'm sorrowful, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, it's wrong, shut it down." They're all perfect emotions. They're emotions, energy emotions. So sometimes if we haven't just let them run through us in their raw form as they arise, then we've got to get into some venting. So reframing how we see venting, and knowing, as I said, the purpose of today, understanding how that prevents the body having to show as a more concrete symbol of where your energy is stuck within you. So go and have a good old vent and feel good about it. So namaste, everyone. Much love. Bye for today.